All right. So today we are going to talk about cash. Now, as we know, as I always say, cash is king. We all know that. Cash is the oxygen of your business. If you don't have cash, you basically bug it. Okay. So that is why cash is so important in business. We always seem to look at our balance sheet, we look at our profit and loss, but sometimes we as business owners, we fail to really understand the cash and the cash flow statement for that matter as well. I'm not going to go into the technicalities of the cash flow statement, the cash forecasting. I'm just going to talk a little bit about cash today. Now, it actually is this is my brake pads. Now, it actually prompted me to talk about cash yesterday when I realized I'm on my way to the studio. I was supposed to do the recording yesterday afternoon, and my brake pads were going. Now, as you can see, it's pretty bare. It's metal on metal. That's crucial. That's crucial, and it's like cash as well. You don't always think about it, but all of a sudden you're out of it. Hey, what happened? So that was my fault. I didn't really look into it. I should check my brake pads. My mechanic, Andrew, big shout out to Andrew, who came to my rescue this morning and helped me with my brake pads quickly. Told me last time, make sure that you look at your brake pads. Now, I'm not here to talk about mechanics today. I'm here to talk about cash. But as we say, if the cash is if you neglect to look after your cash, it can have very dire influence on your business. We know, for instance, that 47. This is information from ASIC, that 47% of businesses go down because of cash flow planning. So if you don't do your cash flow planning, you don't understand, you don't keep track of it. Even if you perhaps sometimes got a profit on the books, doesn't necessarily mean you're in a good cash flow situation. So to explain it is cash got just like my brake pads. It stresses you out. It gives you additional frustration in the business. You focus on the wrong things in your business. You're always running around chasing people for money. You lose an opportunity cost because of your cash. And the reasons behind your cash flow problems is usually because of your planning. You don't plan your cash flow in advance, or you just, for that matter, don't have enough sales, or there's something wrong with your gross profit margin. And in most cases, like I've seen, if there's a problem in cash in the company, a lot of the stuff can be traced back to your gross profit margins, to your margins in your companies. And your costs as well. Your costs are just too high. You don't really look at effective cost management, and your debt. And then obviously very important is also your debtors management. So, for instance, a lot of people just don't bother to send the invoices out in time. They don't bother phoning people, once they're outstanding. They don't look at, from another point of view, your accounts payable. So the people that you owe money is like, have you got good terms in that? Are you making sure you on a cash basis, but make sure that perhaps you pay them in 30 days or 60 days, like people are sometimes paying you. Make sure you got your terms right as well. And sometimes I don't always feel that you want to ask a deposit. If you got a big job, ask a deposit. Is the job is going to take a little bit longer over a certain amount of time? Ask for prepayment. Say, this is what I've done. Here's my job. All right. It's not finished. It's work in progress. But according to our agreement, you got to pay me now 30% of the price that we agreed on, for that matter. So put that stuff in place. So what I say, that's the problem. So the other side of it would be if you can just flip it. So really look at, perhaps the best way, if you've got cash flow problems, is to really sit down and work out what is the real issues in my business. Debtors management, sales, or your margins, or your inventory, because inventory is like a big item. It's stuff that stands on the shelves collecting dust, and it's actually money that could be in your bank. So that's another thing as well. And so perhaps just look at it, and you want to really look at your cash flow issues, then flip it around. Is like, if the problem is planning, is how can I make sure that I'm planning better for my cash? Now, interestingly, this is probably my last video of the first quarter of this year. So So I would say, as a good benchmark as well, your cash flow forecast, a good time period for that is always to have a rolling forecast of about 3 months. 3 months is not too long, but it also gives you enough time in the future prepared. You get a better idea of how your cash flow is going to look in 3 months' time, as opposed to 6 months or 12 months' time. So always make sure that you've got a rolling forecast in your books that you can plan 3 months ahead of time. And you look at your sales. What is wrong with my sales? Is it my marketing, my actual sales, my websites? What's holding it back? My gross margins? Is it my efficiencies? Is it my costs as well? My debtors? Like I said, are you getting paid on time? Are you invoicing on time? Do you have the terms in there? And then also another thing that could be very helpful to help with cash, make it as easy as possible for a customer to pay you. For instance, well, I've got a credit card and I can pay you by credit. I've got another facility. And I said, oh, okay, well, all right, I'll get to it. I'll do it. I'll do a transfer into your bank. But sometimes that doesn't happen. And another thing that we perhaps need to consider, I don't really like to say it because we don't want to create more debt, but if there's it's almost like the worst case scenario is really look at your debt and see if there's a way that you consolidate, because interest does cost you a lot of money. But if you can consolidate your debt, work it over a certain amount, revise your payments with the bank as well, that you perhaps can pay it over a longer period of time, give you a little bit more breathing time, and put things in place that you're really going to work on your cash flow. That will be a good idea. So those are a few things that I mentioned. I mean, cash is massive. There's so many nuances in cash flow problems. There's not one solution. It's always multitude. It's sometimes a vicious circle in company as well. If you want to learn more about cash and want to see some really go into your cash flow planning and some templates as well, I've got a product that I've released. It's called Your Financial Clarity for Business Success. It is quite full on. I'm not there trying to make us all accountants. This product of mine, the purpose of it is just to try to make you the best CEO that you can possibly be in your business, so that you can take care of your cash, understand your costings, really understand your financials, really have that clarity, understand how efficiency is picked up, and then be able to write you a blueprint in a company. It is guaranteed to really increase your margin, increase your profitability, and increase your cash. So that is it for me today. I will see you next time. Ciao.